do you manage to keep your fabric so white? Wow! And how do you manage to keep your house this clean?
I always use HYPO to make our white clothes whiter and to keep our home clean and germ-free.
John, you can use our toilet now.
Ew! My mommy said I should always use a toilet that is cleaned with HYPO toilet cleaner. James will bite my bum bum.
John, what's the problem? Use HYPO toilet cleaner. Introducing the new and affordable HYPO toilet cleaner. Kills germs and deodorizes your toilet. How do you manage to keep your fabric so white? Wow!
Hello, HYPO. Okay. Hello, everyone. Hello, beautiful people. Happy Friday. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Bbnaija Season 6 Shine Your High recap with Sergeant Olori. Yes. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Thank you all for joining. Wow, thank you all for joining me. Tonight is going to be packed. Of course, tonight is packed with all the highlights and recap from week 3. I hope you guys like my new cap. So I got myself a new cap, man. For this report, it is not easy. So tonight, I'll be bringing you all the Bbnaija Season 6 Shine Your Eye recap, and this is brought to you by HYPO. So please follow them on Instagram at HYPO. You have the Instagram handle, pinned on your screen, just in case you don't know. Please hit their page right now and let them know you are from Sergeant Olori. So tonight, I'll be bringing you all the recap from week 3. In case you missed it, we're live on Monday. We talked about the nomination process, we talked about the eviction, and we also talked about the new head of house and deputy. But tonight, I'll be talking about everything that happened between Monday and today, which is Friday. So the housemates just ended their Friday task presentation, and of course the winner will be announced later. Of course, how Biggie does it, you all know. If you all follow the show, you know how Biggie does this thing. So tonight I'm welcoming you all, superstars. Thank you all for joining. I see you all. Sergeant Olori is saying hello, and remember, this Bbnaija Season 6 recap is proudly brought to you by HYPO. So please follow them on Instagram at HYPO. Like HYPO, and the Instagram handle is pinned on your screen. So tonight I'll be starting off with the hygiene situation in the house. Remember, Angel has been talking about the hygiene situation since week 2, and she repeated it again this week. Also discussing that with other housemates in terms of how they keep their toilets and bathrooms clean, and also how they keep the kitchen area very clean. So Angel talked about the hygiene, process in the house, and she also commended other housemates, for keeping the house rules, of course. So in this same light, Maria White Money Cross and the Liquorers also shared their concerns and opinions about the hygiene, situation in the entire house, which also includes the kitchen area, bedroom, bathroom, toilet, lounge, waiting area, the garden, etc., etc. So, looking at the fact that they've been having issues with their toilets, since week 6, since week 1, and Biggie also helped them resolve that problem. But if you look at it, 23 housemates in that whole house, they all need to keep their space tidy. And talking about hygiene, we're all talking about the toilet area, where most of the all of the housemates, go there to use every day. So I'm looking at the fact that This recap is also brought to you by HYPO. HYPO is actually one of the sponsors for the show, and this is one of the tools or the things that they use, the cleaning tools they use to clean their toilet area. So Angel, White Money, Cross, and the rest of them talked about the hygiene level in the house, and this is perfect, for the housemate to be aware about their environment and also to make sure that they keep it clean. So I'm moving on to the military regime. I need that tune. So the military regime started week 3. Pere being the head of ours and Deputy Maria this week has been, should I use the word crazy? It has been something else. It has been full of drama. When you talk about drama, this week has been full of drama back to back. Pere giving it to us, of course, as a military man, as a 36-year-old man that we have in the house, as the head of house who doesn't want, his position, to be stained. Pere has just been the most talked about housemate this week. And, of course, being the head of house, it actually changed a lot of things. And before I get into the whole military regime, I am going to talk about Pere dethroning White Money from the kitchen, dethroning White Money as head of kitchen, the kitchen area, and also appointed Angel as the head of kitchen, assisted by Tega, GMK, and Princess. So talking about the whole situation of the house, Pere thinking that the whole kitchen strategy by White Money, it's actually a monopoly and all, dethroning him from the kitchen area really caused a lot of problems, not just for viewers, but some of the housemates didn't agree with Pere, about the whole situation. But some of them were not vocal about it, but you could tell from their actions, you could tell from the way they behaved, that they were not really happy about the fact that Pere removed White Money as the head of kitchen. So, moving on, we're also going to talk about one of the fights that happened this week, which was really tiring. It was not just tiring, but it was just mentally draining, and which is the fight between Sammy and Angel. Of course, talking about situationships, relationships, friendships in the house. A lot of ships sank. Some are not even sailing. According to Tega, some relationships are now Okada. So in the case of Sammy and Angel's relationship, this was a very dirty fight. Sammy calling Angel different names that I can't mention on live. This whole fight started from the fact that during the Truth or Dare game last Sunday, which was a Sunday, 4 new housemates, were introduced to the whole house, and during the whole game, one of the new housemates, KV, picked Angel for a kiss, and that was where the problem started. So we're looking at the fact that Angel and Sammy have been friends from week 1, and they've also been in talking relationships about how they need to present themselves, or what they stand for in the house. It's actually one of the things that actually caused problems. So Sammy and Angel fights were one of the highlights for this week 3. Looking at the fact that some of the housemates were laughing. Of course, for those who watch the video, you can always check our page for some of the updates. And Angel didn't like the fact that some of the housemates were laughing, but I like the fact that she stood for herself. She was bold, she was confident. She stood her ground, and defended herself, despite the fact that some housemates, were laughing about the situation. And again, it was a situation between Sammy and Angel. So, like I said, I can't mention all the names Sammy called Angel, which is not even befitting to any woman. So that's just going to be set aside. So now I'll be moving on to Pere dethroning White Money. Pere dethroning White Money from the kitchen was one of the biggest highlights for this week. Of course, we all know that these housemates cannot do without food. They cannot do without food. It's anyway they need food to survive in the house. So this actually caused a lot of problems in the house, with the housemates fighting over food, fighting over who's gonna head the kitchen, or who's gonna stay in the kitchen, who's gonna cook for them. It has been one thing led to the other and all. So at this point, we'll be taking a short break. For those who are watching on YouTube, for those who are watching on Facebook, this is the Bbnaija Season 6 recap. Shine your high. brought to you by HYPO. And we're taking a short break. We'll be right back.
How do you manage to keep your fabric so white? Wow! And how do you manage to keep your house this clean?
I always use HYPO to make our white clothes whiter and to keep our home clean and germ-free.
John, you can use our toilet now.
Ew! My mommy said I should always use a toilet that is cleaned with HYPO toilet cleaner. James will bite my bum.
John, what's the problem? Use HYPO toilet cleaner. Introducing the new and affordable HYPO toilet cleaner. Kills germs and deodorizes your toilet.
Now we are back from the short break. For those who are watching on Facebook and Instagram, on Facebook and YouTube, I'm sure you guys saw the commercial break. Yes, this Bbnaija season 6 recap brought to you by HYPO. So now I'll be moving on to the highlights, the biggest highlight for this week, which is Pere, between Pere and White Money. Pere, the training White Money from the kitchen, and he said that this is one of his strategies. For most people that are watching the show, you could tell that White Money has been in that kitchen since day one. Like since day one, he has been in that kitchen. But looking at the fact that this is a game, Pere is being strategic about what he did. And again, being the head of house, he actually made the whole change. He made the whole rules in the house. And Pere, actually just made it open with other housemates in the dining area about the fact that she's actually relieving White Money from the kitchen, from kitchen duties and all. So the same night was the night of love and poetry, and this was organized by White Money and other housemates. So it was a night where each housemate would have to pick a number, a correcting number with a partner, and then they would sing love songs to themselves or say words of poetry to themselves. And the show actually went well, honestly. I enjoyed it. It was perfect. It was very interesting, and again, Licorice and Emmanuel were the highlights for that night because they both picked the same number. And if you guys are following the show, you know that part of the relationships and situationships that we're talking about, Emmanuel and Licorice are on this table. So looking at the fact there was a night of love and poetry, Emmanuel and Licorice actually sang to each other and they said words of love and all of that. It was quite interesting to watch on TV. Well, so the show was going on well. Everything was going on well. It was, becoming very interesting until drama started. Drama started when Queen and Maria, had arguments about someone who just came to the house, in the last 2 days. What do you know about Pere? Blah 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 blah. So I'll give you the breakdown of the fight between Queen and Maria. Drama started when Maria spoke to Pere, about what Maria said. Like I said, Pere is the head of house. And also, this was during the show, like I talked about the love and poetry show that happened in the lounge. So Queen said that Maria, responded to her that what does she know about Pere that she just came to the house 2 days ago. So with that statement from Maria, Queen didn't like it, so she had to give it back to her. So after reporting to Pere, Queen went to the lounge and called Maria up. She called Maria house to the kitchen area, and the exchange of words started, and it was back to back. The one shouting and the one who actually walked out. So being the fact that the whole situation came to Maria, as a shock, like she didn't really know what happened, but in the whole process of Queen explaining to her, she didn't like the way Queen was handling the situation, so she walked away. So when she walked away, Queen, just went ahead and made everything just escalated. That's what I'm going to say. The whole situation escalated, and other housemates were also trying to understand what really happened because they had a lovely night, from the love and poetry segment, to the men showing off their bodies, the 6 packs and 1 pack, like White Money has 1 pack, and then next thing, two queens, fighting, like it was a real fight that night, and the head of house stepped into the whole situation to calm Maria down and also to calm Queen down. Another aspect had to even separate them because it was not a physical fight. Please don't get me wrong, and please do not misquote me. It was not a physical fight. It was just exchange of words, heated argument, and they had to separate the two housemates because Biggie had already given them like a warning, to stop things like that, and also stop using vulgar words in the house. So Perry had to address the whole issue with the whole situation with Maria and also with Queen, separately. So, and one of the highlights again is that Sammy also apologized to Angel. Remember, Sammy and Angel had their fights, during the week, and this actually made it short. During this week, Angel was not even visible at all because the whole situation got up to her and she was all alone by herself. Other housemates, tried to reach out to her and also to cheer her up and all, but she was not having any of it. Except the fact that she and Sammy are still in the same house. They're all confined in the same area and all. So Sammy apologized to Angel, and this happened because other housemates had to talk to Sammy to apologize to Angel because of the words he said. And the words Sammy said to Angel, like I said, I cannot mention it on this live video because they are not words that are acceptable even to any woman. But anyways, Angel, apologized to Sammy in the garden area, and that was how that night, ended between Sammy and Angel. So, again, looking at the fact that this is the military regime, and Sergeant Olero is actually reporting this Bbnaija season 6, recap, which is brought to you by HYPO. Perry addressed the house, authoritatively. If you guys can find that video, you guys can check it out on our page. And I can't really say those words, what Perry said, but I'll just give you the brief of what he said. Perry addressed the house authoritatively. He gave the house a stern warning against disrespecting his authority or the authority as the head of house. And Maria, of course, they discussed earlier in the week that they were going to, put out a roster of how the housemates would clean the house till Monday, because Monday will actually be the last day the regime will end. Of course, this our regime is tough. It is tough. So they had the roster ready and they announced it to the housemates. Those will be cleaning from Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Sunday, then Monday, because they feel that Saturdays are always messy. Of course, they have the Saturday nightlife party where they all boogie, drink, get high and all of that. So they feel that Saturdays should be out of it. So they'll be doing the cleaning on Sunday and Monday. So they had a roster, the roster, the names were all spelled out and everybody agreed to it, of course. And so that's it. And looking at the fact that Angel and Sammy also ended their fights, and Angel she has just been to herself all day long. Cross was really worried about her and the whole situation between her and Sammy. Of course, if you guys watch the show, you notice that other housemates are actually pushing the relationship between Angel and Sammy. But between the both of them, they both understand that they are not mentally fit to have a relationship, which Angel has been saying all the time that she doesn't think that they are both mentally fit to be in a relationship. She also mentioned it to Biggie during a diary session this evening, before the Friday tax presentation. So I think she's really vocal and she's really clear about her words regarding a situation with her and Sammy. So at this point, we're going on a break. Let me take a water break. We're going on a break, and for those who are just watching, thank you all for watching. For those who are just joining us, thank you all for joining. This is Sergeant Olori bringing you all the updates, highlights from week 3 of Bbnaija season 6, Shine Your High, and this is proudly brought to you by HYPO. So guys, please follow them on Instagram at HYPO. I love to sing the song HYPO. So please follow them on Instagram at HYPO, and I'll see you in a few minutes.
How do you manage to keep your fabric so white? Wow! And how do you manage to keep your house this clean?
I always use HYPO to make our white clothes whiter and to keep our home clean and germ-free.
John, you can use our toilet now.
Ew! My mom mommy said I should always use a toilet that is cleaned with HYPO toilet cleaner. James will bite my bum.
John, what's the problem? Use HYPO toilet cleaner. Introducing the new and affordable HYPO toilet cleaner. Kills germs and deodorizes your toilet.
So welcome back to the Bbnaija Season 6 Shine Your High Recap, and this is brought to you by HYPO. So please follow them on Instagram at HYPO and let them know you're from Sergeant Olori. Of course, you can see my cap. We're in the military regime in the Big Brother house, so I need to dress so you guys can address, you guys can respect my office, you respect my emblem. According to Pere, it is a military regime. Of course, you're having fun on this show. For those who are watching, thank you all for joining. And remember that this is proudly brought to you by HYPO. Of course, Motayo, we are going to talk about Queen. Don't worry, do not worry. I'm still giving you guys the breakdown of what happened this week. So now I'm moving on to Boma, Queen, and White Money. So this week, of course, if you guys have noticed, Queen and Boma are quite close, or they are close. Other housemates have noticed too. So we, the viewers, also know that Boma and Queen are getting close. So Boma told Queen about his relationship outside the house, and if you guys remember, Queen just joined the house, the other housemates, just last Sunday. So she obviously missed when Boma talked about his previous relationship, which he has shared in the house times without number. And if you notice, Boma, he always stays on his own. He's always trying to stay on his own and do his thing, focus on his game, and try to make sure that he gets the money, which is the reason why we are all watching the show, the money. So Boma told Queen about his relationship outside the house and also owning up to his mistakes. Of course, I can't go through that Boma story because for those who are watching, they all know the whole story. So Queen just came to the house and she's just getting to know the whole story. So regarding the whole issue about the kitchen, which is a major issue in the house, Princess also spoke to Pere about the whole situation of the kitchen rules and changing the head of kitchen and all, and also letting Pere know that she cannot handle the whole kitchen herself just for 22 housemates. And also she also spoke to him about that to see how he can, bring someone who really understands the kitchen back, which is White Money, and of course, if you guys are watching this show, you know that this is a strategic show. This is the game. This is everything that is happening is, it's according to Major General Pere. So Pere, removing White Money from the kitchen was also one of the major highlights for this week. Aside from the fights, the drama, the arguments in the house, this also caused a lot of conversation on social media, not just on Instagram, also on other platforms like Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. So this is actually one major shift that happened because it talked about the switch, with Maria in the royal suite, and it happened and brought this to everyone's notice. So, still talking about hygiene in the house, hygiene is one of the major concerns for all the housemates in the house. And looking at the fact that they have 23 housemates in the house, hygiene is very, very, very important. Looking at the fact that they use most of the common areas in the house, which is the lounge, the area, the bedroom, the garden area, and also the restroom. The restroom also includes the bathroom. So they use this common area. Some of these housemates cannot stand being in a dirty space, like Angel, for instance. Angel has been vocal about the hygiene, space in the house. White Money, when you see White Money in the kitchen, White Money always cleans, after he's done in the kitchen and all. So hygiene was also talked about in the house. The hygiene level also is high and all. And what else again happened? Okay, so again, still talking about the whole monopoly situation in the house. Pere gathered all the housemates in the dining area to discuss the monopoly for the kitchen. Pere relieving White Money, from his duties, till Monday, and he mentioned it that if the new head of house wants to change that, then that's their choice. So Angel gave her opinion about White Money, who has been able to manage the food situation in the house. And looking at the fact that there are now 23 housemates, food such a shortage, and people eating more than what they can chew, people with having leftovers in the fridge. not just leftover foods, also drinks in the house, water being scarce and all, and everything, all happening. So this is one of the things that Pere also addressed in the house. Another housemates gave their opinions, regarding that. So this also includes Tega suggesting that white money should continue managing the kitchen. That it doesn't. I mean, it does it so well. Which other housemates agree? Like I said, not all of them were vocal about their concerns, but Angel and Tega were one of the few housemates who actually shared their opinions about the food management in the house. So at this point, guys, I'll be taking another short break. If you're watching on YouTube and you're watching on YouTube and Facebook, you're going on a short break. And for Instagram followers, please stick with us. Grab yourself a drink, and Sergeant will be back in a few minutes.
How do you manage to keep your fabric so white? Wow! And how do you manage to keep your house this clean?
I always use HYPO to make our white clothes whiter and to keep our home clean and germ-free.
All right, so we are back from our short break, very short break, and this is the Bbnaija Season 6 Shine Your Eye Recap, brought to you by HYPO. So for those who are just joining, thank you all for joining, and those who have been with us from the beginning of this show, thank you for sticking with Sergeant Olori. Please follow HYPO on Instagram at HYPO, and let them know you are from Sergeant Olori. So talking about the highlights from week 3, today is day 5, so we're talking about week 3 highlights. Pere being the head of ours, Deputy Maria, all the drama between Queen and Maria, the monopoly situation and kitchen strategy between Pere and White Money, Sammy and Angel fights. A lot has happened this week. Bumper to bumper relationships that are working, the ones that are on Okada right now, the ones that are selling and the ones that are not selling. A lot has happened. So guys, thank you all for watching this recap, and I hope you guys are enjoying this recap. So moving on, we are going to talk about the task for the week, because this week we have a lot of millionaires in the house now that are becoming millionaires in the house. So talking about the task for the week, we had the first task where the housemates were split into 4 different groups, and one of the groups winning 500,000 naira. And the set of people that actually want this money are Nini, Decoros, Princess, Emmanuel, Peace, Tega, and Michael. They won 500,000 naira each. After they won the task. So that's actually good news, because this is weekly, and it's actually good to see that the housemates are beginning to win some money. They're winning some money, and okay, let me just give you the breakdown of what happened. When the team won the task, some of the old housemates were not happy, and I'll be honest with you, because they showed that part. They were not happy because some of the people that I mentioned, they're like, for instance, Michael was one of the new housemates that joined them on Sunday. Michael won 500,000 naira. So other housemates were like, Messi will just join us on Sunday, do they win money? Wait till me, I want to, all those kind of talks and all. So it's really amazing to see that the housemates are now into their, they're not into their right state of mind, knowing that this is a competition and this is the game. The game is the game. The players just change. So they won 500,000 naira each and all. Then I'm going to talk about Maria, Tega, and HYPO's conversation. Maria talked about white money strategy being in the kitchen, and Tega and HYPO later agreed. Like I said, they've been having these conversations in groups. They've been having these conversations in the open. Pere edit these conversations about white money and the kitchen strategy. So Maria also talking to Tega and HYPO about this, also, just to talk about the fact that maybe he's using the kitchen area as a strategy to stay in the house for other housemates not to nominate him, and this has just been one of the situations in the house this week. So let's look at the fact that we are talking about tasks in the house this week. because, like I said earlier, a lot of housemates have been winning money. They've been winning money, and this is just week 3. I'm so excited because usually you will see them winning money maybe week 6, week 7, week 8 towards the end of the show. But now it's week 3, and a lot of housemates are winning some money. So Queen and Boma, of course, talked about their issue. They had a misunderstanding earlier this week, and they trashed that issue. So another tax which took place in the house, where they had where the housemates were divided into 4 different groups, and they had to do they had to do like a puzzle. They had to do like a puzzle stuff in the arena lounge, and 2 groups won. So Team Jolly won, and the other group won, and they actually won 3 million naira in total. These guys are becoming millionaires. So I like the fact that people are winning money, in the middle of the show, and this is so exciting to watch. Like I said, this is exciting to watch because a lot of housemates have been winning. But the 2 housemates who stood out for us are Emmanuel and Licorice, because these guys have been winning some money. They are not just in love; they've been winning some money. They're winning money back to back in the house. So today being Friday, Today being Friday, the Friday task, took place in the house, and they had to do a debate presentation, in the house, talking about family finance and impact of digital transformation. So the house was divided into 2 groups, which is the male group and the female group. So the male presentation went on, the female presentation went on, and it was a great presentation because I watched it, and their points were really great. Big Brother also did something amazing, was impromptu, to all the house and even the viewers. So Big Brother told all the housemates that they all look smashing and they all look beautiful. So he told them to do a mini fashion show. So the housemates actually entertained us with a fashion show, strutting the runway, giving us everything that they have and all. And at the end of the presentation, also the end of the fashion show, Biggie actually awarded Peace, 500 naira for her eloquency during our presentation. And Emmanuel, Boma, Jackie B, and Licorice also won some money based on their fire looks during the fashion show. So this week has just been exciting, but it has been filled with a lot of drama, fights, and a lot of things in between, unveiled, unwrapped is what I'm going to say, and towards before the housemates, left the arena, Biggie actually called out Maria. Biggie called out Maria out for inviting Licorice and Peace to the head of house, which is one of the rules that was violated in the house. So Biggie gave the 3 housemates a punishment. It's not a punishment, basically. So it's a warning that even if they are nominated as deputy head of house or they win the head of house game, they are barred from the head of house suite for 2 weeks. So this applies to Maria, Peace, and Licorice. All right, so guys, at this junction, we'll be going on a short break. For those who are watching on YouTube and Facebook, we'll be right back, and also on Instagram. See you guys in a few minutes.
How do you manage to keep your fabric so white? Wow! And how do you manage to keep your house this clean?
I always use HYPO to make our white clothes whiter and to keep our home clean and germ-free.
John, you can use our toilet now.
Ew! My mommy said I should always use a toilet that is cleaned with HYPO toilet cleaner. James will bite my bum.
John, what's the problem? Use HYPO toilet cleaner. Introducing the new and affordable HYPO toilet cleaner. Kills germs and deodorizes your toilet.
All right, guys, so welcome back to the Bbnaija Season 6 recap. brought to you by HYPO. And I can see from the comment section on my screen, Nini fights, a lot of that are popping on my screen. I'm not watching the show right now because I'm giving you guys the update for week 3, and today is day 5. So thank you all for sticking with me. Thank you all for following this page, and do not forget that this show or this recap is brought to you by HYPO. So guys, I need you guys to please move on to Instagram and follow them on Instagram at HYPO. So right now I have K Solo who's going to join me, and we're going to discuss the fights, the drama, and the strategies that happened, during this week. Hello, K Solo.
Hi, what's up with you?
I'm fine. Can I see your face? Salutary wants to see your face. No problem. Good evening.
I'm just recovering from malaria.
So sorry about that. All right, thank you for joining me on this recap. Of course, I was telling my audience that this recap is what we do, every Mondays, Fridays, and Sundays. So tonight, I talked about the whole recap for week 3. I'm looking at the fact that week 3 was filled with the military regime, hence why my beautiful cap, represented the military regime. We also talk about the monopoly of the kitchen strategy between Pere, White Money, and Maria, because Maria being the deputy head of house. Talking about the fight between Queen and Maria, the fight between Queen and Angel, the fight between Angel and Sammy, the ship sailing between Emmanuel and the Koros. This week has been filled with a lot of drama and more. So let me hear from you. What's your take from week 3?
Okay. Favorite.
Yeah, hello? Yes, I can. Oh, the line is breaking. The line is breaking. Okay, so while we wait for K Solo to reconnect with us, I can see the comment section is popping. People are talking about the fights happening in the house right now. Guys, can you just give me the updates, because I'm giving you guys the updates? Okay, yes, I can hear you now.
Okay, so I'm just gonna be telling some people's favorite, okay?
Okay.
First, I'm a fan of practically almost all of them in the house. Okay. And it's fine to have strategies, and I like the strategy that what's his name, White Money is bringing on the table, which is a very good one for me. Okay, but now moving forward, I don't think there's a reason why anybody should feel like, okay, this is your strategy. And you want to destroy it. Now, Nigerians do not understand that it's a game. And for a game, Pere is there to actually play the game very well, and which I appreciate that fact that he's playing his game very well. If Pere decided to remove white money from the kitchen, it's not a bad idea. People should stop crying all around. He's playing his game.
I like that.
And for me, people who actually feel that Maria is this, Maria is that, people should wake up. Maria is, for me, if you ask me, Maria is one of the strongest players, and she's the strongest female in that house. Why do I say this? For a female to play a wild card for that week, and suspect her.
True.
If you think to that point, and not the thinking of fighting and that. Now let's quickly switch on to the new lady, Queen. Queen is bringing drama. It's fine, but even a blind person knows that drama she wanted to pull out that night was wrong. Was not going to reach to anywhere. Because she just wanted to tell you that you're just barely 2 days in the house and you already know everything. That she don't pop to that. She just went from 0 to 100, bam, like that. That was so fake. There was an idea that people had in their head that it's not it. But she had so much time to make that drama happen. Now the point is this. Losing that drama was a bad thing for her. She's now on the eyes of everybody.
True.
She does that, people will know. And let me switch away from that lady. Let me switch to Sammy. Sammy is one boy that wants to come and sell Omaje Paco Nimi, you know. That
Exactly.
You know, we're enjoying it at this because, you know, but at the end of the day, what's wrong with that Paco boy begin to fall for badass girl? Now, the badass girl you want to join, you are falling for, you know, there are strategies, there are things attached to badass girls, you know, and part of it is that they always toy with your heart, they do all those things with your heart, but Sam is not strong enough for that.
Exactly.
He's not strong enough for that.
Exactly.
Sam should rearrange himself and realize that the first strategy he brought in can still take him a long while. People actually liking him, but when he starts playing with the bad girls, people pull away from him. At the point, some of the girls like him, which was actually a good strat for him to actually be friends to one of them. But when the angel said him, pushed him away from people. Now, let me talk about Angel too. Angel is silently playing her game, you know, and she's using that, you know, review your body strats to also push, which is very good. I think it's just
Exactly.
You know, it will take her far. For me, I don't see her as someone that I can say so much about because our strategy is just all in her face, and that for her. Now, one person that I want to talk about again is Irene, like COVID-19, everywhere. She's just in every angle. Irene is there. You know, aside the fact that I do not like Irene, I'm sorry to say, I should have liked her, but only for the fact that how can one single person manipulate the whole house as against getting who the wild card is? Now she was playing that pranks against Beatrice, making people feel like it was Beatrice that actually made people not feel. But she is the one who actually made it. She got into the hands of everybody. At the make of point, Emmanuel knew who the wild cards were, but when for him to come out, you know, he threw it away too as well. So trust me, in this game, it's getting sweeter by the day.
It is.
And I'm enjoying the fact that it's not violence.
Yeah.
You know,
but the words, the words are too much. Of course, they're on live TV, and most of them are conscious of the fact that cameras are watching. But I mean, talking about Angel and Sammy's issues, what I'm trying to say, because the words that Sammy said, you know, cannot be said, of course, on this type of live, you know, for reasons known, of course, known to us and all. But with looking at those words, looking at those condescending words, you know, from Sammy, you know, to Angel, it actually killed her morale, because for the next day, Angel was missing. Like, the camera didn't catch Angel anyway until she came out, I think, later in the night, because those things got to her. But, you know, honestly, because she has said it. She had no.
Sergeant.
Sir?
The point is, it's not that it was not like that word that actually took Angel of balance. I think what happened to Angel was the fact that Angel likes Sammy, okay, but she wants to be with Sammy, but still live that athletic lifestyle whereby she can go in for anybody, but just know by decide this is my guy, but meanwhile I can't feel with any other person. So trust me, it's not the word. Because see those words, after those words, don't forget that she came out bouncing and dancing and still calling him out in the middle of the night. You know? But now, what paid her more again was when they said, okay, go ahead and do this with Big Brother now. And everybody, the house was laughing.
And exactly, that was what happened. It was a laugh. Yeah, I'm with you. I think it was a laugh. It was a laughter. Yes.
Yes, it was the laugh that actually got her so bad. You know, so that's what. But like I said, the game is popping up gradually. Yeah. It's going by gradually.
It is.
And I'm very happy for the fact that there's no violence. I'm happy for that. Because a lot of people say that that's the content we pay for. No, that's not the content you pay for. We pay for entertainment.
Fun and entertainment. With drama.
Yes, because Yes, because we want drama. Drama is not violent. You know, Ibuka came out of that Big Brother, there was no violence. You know, so the last time I think I remember there was strong violence. Major violence was Big Brother Africa.
Yes,
so
President Kegan.
Petty dramas, you know. So I think the game is doing a reset, and people should get used to the new.
True.
We don't want that bad whereby you're out of the house, you guys can't talk again, you guys can't move again, you know. It's moving into a new one, and I'm happy that it's happening this way. So the game is just starting up. People should just enjoy, just keep their fingers crossed. A lot of research will happen. True. When people start leaving the house now, friends will start turning to enemy. They'll start getting to know that. So people should not be in a haste for any of these things to happen. But the good thing about it is that the game, the players right now are very conscious. In fact, if you ask me, this is one of the best Big Brother Nigeria I've seen in a while. Everybody is using their sense. Everybody's using their sense. Trust me. No matter what, you know when you want to come and fight somebody. Yeah. And the person you want to fight is not giving you a response to make your fight, to make that thing happen.
Exactly.
For example, imagine if Maria had replied Queen.
Yeah.
It would have been wildfire.
It would have been.
But she didn't even give that opportunity.
She held her calm. Because other housemates, understand who Maria is. They understand her character. They understand who she is. But because of the fact that Queen just got into the house 2 days, after that happened, so she didn't understand the type of person Maria is. So looking at the fact that other housemates had to calm Maria down, also have to talk to Queen that this is that you are doing so they calmed both of them down, and the matter just ended that way. But it's all good. But she actually raised the fight again with Angel in the kitchen before their tax presentation this evening. And this was also about food in the kitchen and all. But anyways, let's see how things goes, because we have 2 more days before the eviction show on Sunday. So we don't know who's leaving the house this Sunday. Maybe it's Sasuke or Emmanuel, Nini, or Tega, or Ari, or the last person. I forgot the last person's name who's going home this Sunday. Anyways, thank you so much, Kesolo, for joining us. Thank you for giving us your opinion about week 3. I really appreciate it. I've not seen you in a while, but thank you so much. I honor this, invitation. Thank you so much for joining, and we'll definitely see in the comment section and all. All right, guys. So we're going on a short break, and in a few minutes we'll be right back.
How do you manage to keep your fabric so white? Wow! And how do you manage to keep your house this clean?
I always use HYPO to make our white clothes whiter and to keep our home clean and germ-free.
John, you can use our toilet now.
Ew! My mommy said I should always use a toilet that is cleaned with HYPO toilet cleaner. James will bite my bone.
John, what's the problem? Use HYPO toilet cleaner. Introducing the new and affordable HYPO toilet cleaner. Kills germs and deodorizes your toilet.
Okay, so guys, welcome back to the Bbnaija Season 6 recap, brought to you by HYPO, and this is your Sergeant Olori reporting live for week 3, and we are in day 5. So it's week 3, day 5, and this is a recap brought to you by HYPO. So far we've talked about the strategies in the house, the monopoly in the house, the head of house because you're in the military regime, hence why my cap. Then we also talked about the fights in the house, talked about everything, the relationships, the ones that are now Okada, the ones that are sailing, and the ones that are already sinking. It's just been a week filled with drama, filled with a lot of things and all. But aside from talking about drama and all, we also talked about hygiene in the house. And thank you all for watching tonight's show, the Bbnaija Season 6 recap brought to you by HYPO. Yes, this is yours truly, Sergeant Olori, signing out. And I'll see you guys next time. It's bye from me.
How do you manage to keep your fabric so white? Wow! And how do you manage to keep your house this clean?
I always use HYPO to make our white clothes whiter and to keep our home clean and germ-free.
John, you can use our toilet now.
Ew! My mommy said I should always use a toilet that is cleaned with HYPO toilet cleaner. James will bite my bum.
John, what's the problem? Use HYPO toilet cleaner. Introducing the new and affordable HYPO toilet cleaner. Kills germs and deodorizes your toilet.
All right, guys. So thank you all for sticking with us for this week's recap week 3. And I hope you all enjoyed the recap on this show. Remember, the Big Brother Bbnaija season 6 recap is brought to you by HYPO. So guys, until next time, I'll see you. And it's Sergeant Olori signing out tonight. Good night.